What if strength wasn't about carrying it all, but knowing when to lay it down? Hey there, my name is Montina Myers-Galloway. I'm a licensed therapist. I'm the owner of Myers-Galloway Counseling, and I also created the Don't Call Me Strong retreat. And it is a retreat experience that is specifically designed to support the healing of Black women caregivers, whether they became caregivers intentionally by profession or unintentionally from a young age. The Don't Call Me Strong retreat is a retreat that's designed as a sanctuary for Black women to release the burdens of perpetual strength, reconnect with their authentic selves, and heal in a supportive community. Join the wait list. You do not have to do this alone.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. How is everybody doing? It's July 16th. Can you all believe that we are more than halfway through the end of the year? It's crazy, bananas all at the same time. Hello and welcome to the Power Lab. My name is Montina Myers-Galloway. I am a licensed clinical mental health counselor and a mental health consultant, and I own an amazing private practice called Myers-Galloway Counseling, where our focus is healing Black women from parentification. And for nearly a decade, my team and I have supported over 300 Black women through over 5,000 hours of healing emotional restoration. And as a consultant, I specialize in helping Black women leaders disrupt unhealthy caregiving cycles. So you are in the right place if you have ever heard, or excuse me, if you have ever asked yourself, is this love or is this performance? Do I feel seen or am I just busy proving that I'm lovable? You are in the right place. Welcome to the Power Lab. Today, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. Normally, this is our place to, um, test certain things, explore, talk about the weight of caregiving and how we can get out of those patterns, get out of those endless cycles of overgiving. But today, I am going to share with you a little not an experiment, but I guess it would be an experiment, a personal experiment that I did this summer. I got to the point in my personal professional career. I realized that I found myself calling on the same people for the same thing, and so I realized that I had a gap in my personal and my professional relationships, and it was impacting me in more than one way. And so, since I realized that, I started to do this thing called a summer dinner series. I have always wanted to. Um, I'm not sure if you all watch the Cooking Network, but I watch Food Network and cooking shows, and I love those cooking shows where, they go to these like underground secret restaurants with white tablecloths and like you need a guest list to get in and you need a password and all that. I love those types of shows, and I've always wanted to host one of those. We're not there yet, but I thought, what a great way to make some new connections, deepen some new relationships, and have a summer dinner series. And so I did it. So every week, what I did was I made reservations at a nice restaurant, not too fancy, not too expensive. Um, made a reservation at a restaurant. Started to go sort of in my mental Rolodex of the people who I had interacted with, but maybe either I referred clients to them, they referred clients to me, or people who I had just kind of seen out in the industry or whether it be social media. And I asked them if they wanted to go to dinner. So my goal was to have about 6 to 8 people a week in each dinner. Sometimes there was more, sometimes there were less. and we would just meet for dinner and just have real conversations. It wasn't really structured or anything. It wasn't really an agenda per se, but we were just getting to know each other. So I had a total of 6 of them this summer, and it was just amazing. And I wanted to share with you all what I learned um, as I went through this process and as I took myself through this process. Towards the end, I actually found out about apparently it's a real research study that's called, or phenomenon that's called, the friendship dip. And essentially, it talks about how later in life you have more challenges creating and maintaining friendships because of the stage of life that you're in. Whether you're working a lot, you have your career goals, you have family obligations, people in different life stages start to move away, or things just become different. And so I started to think to myself, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's kind of what I've been experiencing. But I wanted to share that with you because in hopes that maybe you'll be inspired to do the same thing, do something similar. Even if you don't have dinner, just make it a consistent habit to connect with other people, either that you don't know or that you haven't had a chance to catch up with in a while. But some of the themes that came up during the dinners, and I had a total of 6 of them, but some of the themes that came up during the dinners were the impact of overgiving, the impact of caring for family, um, and also the impact of friendships changing and friendships or outgrowing certain friendships at certain points of your life. It's really important to sort of take an assessment of the people in your life and sort of try to understand what you need from relationships and then also what you offer to relationships, because relationships take work. It's very intentional. And one of the concepts that we were talking about at the last one that I had last night was the finale of the summer dinner series. So it's the last one that I'm doing for right now. But one of the topics that we talked about was just sort of how ambiguous female friendships can be, because it's clear you might have a certain level of expectation for a romantic partner, or there's certain levels of expectations for a coworker, or a boss. But friendships, there's different layers and levels to it, because you might not be as close to one friend as you are to another friend, or you might not share certain information with one friend versus the other. And the funny thing that we were talking about last night was just like, we don't really have the talk when we have female friends, the what are we talk. Like, are we besties? Are we associates? We don't have those direct and open conversations around the state and status of the relationship. That, at least that's not something that I have seen or heard of. So let me know in the comments if there is something, if you all have implemented that in your relationships to kind of help me out with that. But just the ambiguous nature of friendships, the sort of l- defining or labeling what the friendship is and the status of the friendship, that's an opportunity. Um, that's an opportunity for us. So we, like I said, I hosted the 6 dinners. It wasn't necessarily networking, but we also learned that a lot of we there were a lot of commonalities amongst professions of what we did, and we had valuable conversation just to the importance of knowing the right resources in the community. And the one other thing that is in common, that we had all in common, was that we care about supporting other Black women. We care about at least hearing other Black women, knowing what other Black women have going on, and supporting the community that we serve by sharing other culturally competent resources, safe resources, That was really, really important, and another theme that came up during during the dinner last night. So, if you have not connected with someone, if you had not, um, if your relationships are feeling kind of, I guess, even keel, or maybe it might be lacking some dimension or depth, even, just kind of think about, all right, what does that mean? What is this telling me? Because it is work to initiate and maintain a relationship. So here are some takeaways that I have for you today in the Power Lab. And I want you to ask yourself, where are you over functioning in friendships? Specifically, since we're talking about friendships and just sort of those associate type level relationships, where are you over functioning in your friendships? The next takeaway and question I want you to ask yourself is, who do you feel obligated to sort of show up for rather than just sort of letting it genuinely happen? Who do you feel obligated to show up for? And lastly, I want you to ask yourself, what would it look like to ask for help without apology? What would it look like to ask for help without apology? Who do you feel obligated to be in relationship with? And where are you over functioning in your friendships? So, we don't have to wait until a crisis happens to reach out to someone. We don't have to wait until a crisis happens to connect with people. We need human connection in life, and that is a part of what helps us stay healthy. um, we absolutely need other people in our life. I think that sometimes we think that that's hard to say and admit, but you do need other people. I'm not saying you need any and everybody. People do have to earn the right to have access to you. People have to earn the right to spend time with you, per se. But every relationship is not created equally. So the way that I describe it to my clients is thinking about a dartboard. If you understand and remember what a dartboard looks like, it's got a circle, small circle in the middle, bigger circle on the outside, and then another bigger circle on the outside, of that. And so that circle in the middle is small for a reason. Those expectations in the relationship, in that inner circle, might be very different than the expectations in the relationships on the outside of that circle. Another amazing analogy came up last night was the stadium analogy, right? So the preface or the premise of the stadium analogy with ships and relationships is that, well, everybody don't get a front row at to the show of your life when you think about it being a stadium. Sometimes people are up in the stands, sometimes people are a little bit closer, but every relationship is not created equal, and then every relationship doesn't serve the same purpose it used to serve the last season that you might have been in your life. And that can be challenging to accept, that can be challenging to adjust to, but it's reality and it does happen. So I told them that I would steal that analogy or that metaphor, so they won't be surprised when they hear this video. But the takeaways again, who do you feel like you feel obligated to show up for? Um, what would it look like if you ask for help without apology? And where are you over functioning in your relationships? So, I want to close out by reminding you that we are about to have our second annual Don't Call Me Strong retreat. This is happening on July 28th through July 31st. We have some amazing things in store. We are we're only allowing 7 women, 7 lucky, strong, or not strong, courageous women who are open and ready for their healing. The actual retreat will be, like I said, the 28th through the 31st. And then we are having an amazing special VIP evening on July 27th, the Sunday before. And I'm so excited about it. I've been cooking up some amazing activities. I've been cooking up um, a lot of a lot of stuff. I'm not going to give it away while we are here. Um, yes, so it's been great to catch up with you very briefly. Please join me here every week, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Um, thank you for watching the Power Lab.
Black women, have you ever felt like you've been the caretaker for everyone else in your life? Well, I'm here to tell you, it's time to break free. Our exclusive membership community, Legacy Shifters, we've created an experience specifically for Black women just like you. Through live workshops with me, Montina Myers-Galloway, a licensed therapist, and my expert team, plus a private app-based community of women who understand, you'll gain the tools that you need to set boundaries, to prioritize yourself without guilt, and create a life that's truly yours. Don't wait. Join today. You'll save with our annual membership discount. Visit legacy-shiftersmn.co. Say it with me. I deserve this. Legacy Shifters is here to help you live it.